Hey, what's up, guys? So, just finished watching the game. I figured I'd make this video while it's all nice and fresh in my memory. The Detroit Lions performance in preseason game 2. And I'll, throw in a little bit about game 1. I thought the first two would go nicely together since now we've seen a little bit more than just a few snaps from everybody. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind is a rule that I follow, which is if you don't see something consistently for 2 preseason games, then it's not really real. There's no way to know if it's real, and that's a good rule to follow by. That way you're not panicking about things that, freaked out in one game or overexcited about another aspect. And that's the philosophy I'll take to this. So the starters didn't look that good in this game, but again, not really an issue. Probably not playing very, aggressively. Not really an issue in the first week. The only thing I'll say that was consistent was Abdullah, who was on the camp bubble, maybe of getting caught. He played. I thought some of his plays were very good in this game. I don't know if he was still in the bubble, but I thought he really locked up a spot this week. There was some good stuff and some weird stuff in this game. This is one of the weird things. The only interception Castle threw, I believe. TJ Jones did some weird, I don't know, even drop, but threw it back behind him. I don't know. But I thought there was some good things to see besides the weird mistakes that happened on the field. But moving on to what I think everyone wants to talk about is the run game that the Lions had and the run defense. These are the halftime stats that we had. As you can see, our run defense was pretty good. Although the Giants sat almost all their starters, probably because they're freaking out about Geis, I believe. The Redskins running back got injured, tore his ACL out for the season, so they're probably super nervous with all their running backs, especially Barkley, who's also there, just like the Redskins, their first round. But as you can see, our run game wasn't that good, which is kind of disappointing because it was pretty good in week 1. But we actually got some things called back because, if there's one thing Detroit is known for, it's, how much the refs treat us fairly and have not at all screwed us over at any point that any of us can think in recent memory. In all honesty, though, the run game definitely picked up in the second half, even if there were mistakes on defense. TJ Jones more than made up for his weird catch before. But again, not the time to hit the panic button on the run game. Not a lot of people got snaps, and again, it wasn't consistent. But now switching over to the defensive side of the ball, mainly. Oddly enough, they struggled a lot against these Giants quarterbacks, especially in the passing game, which is like our strong point. It was a very odd day that our run defense wasn't what I was worrying about, which, again, odd, but I guess not something I'm worried about. So we'll just forget about it, and if it's not an issue in future preseason games, then pretend it never happened. The defense got 2, I believe, first and goal situations, and while I think they gave up the touchdown in both cases, they did hold them to third downs against runs and passes, so that was actually pretty. Also, for those that care, the QB backup battle looks like it's gone to Rudock. I would assume he played the most snaps today, and he did very well. He had 171 yards, 1 touchdown, which is pretty good compared to last week. I don't think there's much else to talk about. Our O-line did pretty good. Our D-line actually got pressure on people, so hopefully that's repeated in future weeks because it wasn't in week 1. But the Giants did pretty well against the Browns last week, so the fact that we tripped them up at least a bit in some areas, especially in the starters and the second string, leaves some room for optimism, even if there was a lot of weird issues with this game.